a little bit deeper, I think, at the moment.
Alberman to Sandberg, it was just a bit behind him. Kranjčar, he's got to really find a regular place in the Portsmouth side. Cerna. Korluka. Israel almost giving Croatia the middle third here and say, well, come and break us down if you can. Kranjčar looking to do exactly that. Korluka. Crossed in towards Eduardo. Kranjčar feeds it back. And they're claiming a handball in the block there. That shot by Niko Kovac. Not given. Played deep towards Eduardo. And he goes to ground and looks at the referee, who's basically has said to him, please get up and don't try that again.
Going for the foul on Afek, but no foul for me there. But again, lying deep. I don't think they're good enough to do that, Israel. I don't think they're good enough to lie deep, try and get the numbers back and defend like that. They have to push out slightly. You can see the cross coming to the far post, and here they're claiming the foul. No foul for me. Gets caught under the flight of the ball.
It looked outrageous, didn't it, looking at that again? Absolutely zero contact. It's a comic cut, frankly. Here's Idan Tal. An overlapping run. Badia's got it now for Israel. Nicely poised this game. Israel ahead from the 8th minute. And then Ben Ayoun looking to just flick it on with the header. Interestingly, Ben Ayoun scored a couple of times for his country this season, but none at all so far for West Ham. Here's Simjanic. Now Modric. Kranjčar. Cerna again with room to get in across. There's an awful lot of crosses coming in now to the Israeli defence, and maybe they're going to have to start cutting off that supply line.
Well, they're going deeper than their own penalty area. You can see them edging back here, and that's creating room for the midfield to up in support of Petric, and they're very, very good at keeping possession, Croatia, in and around this last third. Just trying to carve out that little opening. Just waiting patiently, waiting to pass, get it into the striker, and then get a runner from midfield joining. I don't think the Israelis really can concentrate that long. They tend to jump out of the ball now and again.
Everybody but the striker, Arauti, back behind the ball. Driven, and a great save there. It was Niko Kranjčar, and then Kovac, who finally had the shot.
Kovac had the shot, but no one came tight to the striker again. Look, Kovac plays the 1-2. Where's the defenders to come tight with the striker, Petric? No one comes, sets up the shot. Just waiting for that opportunity patiently, just to set themselves up. No one comes tight, no one prevents it. That's their problem at the moment.
Here comes the Croatian corner. And the header down was from Korluka, the right full-back. Israel's grip on their lead looking a little fragile at the moment.
He'll be keen to get them in at the break, Castellano, just to say, look, we've got to get tight on that main striker. That's the main thing. And they can't get off of him and get those runners going forward. Going deep, very, very deep. See on your pictures, I suppose, at home, how deep that defence is. Here at the stadium, it's alarmingly deep.
Niko Kranjčar is beginning to just dominate a few things, and then Niko Kovac. Kranjčar again, looking to bend one this time. It's a decent block from Afek. But they're really sitting back Israel and inviting Croatia onto them. Almost as if it was the last 10 minutes of the game. Simjanic's header in towards Eduardo. Darting little player. And then Cerna with the header. Difficult bounce. And Israel smuggle it away again. And there's going to be a free kick, which gives me the chance to tell you that on Sky Sports 1 at 7 o'clock, a must-win game for the Republic of Ireland in their group at home to San Marino. So do stay with us later on for that one.
See Tal Ben Ayoun just dealing with it well in the end. Maybe could have got to the bounce before, but certainly when it did bounce up, he was brave enough to get his header away. Probably not hurt as much as he's showing.
His dad, you might have read about this, was involved in a fist fight with Tal Ben Ayoun's former agent in the team hotel on Monday night. That's caused one or two waves in the build-up to this game, and the son has got a bit of blood showing as well here, giving blood for the cause.
I think he got one on that nose there. You can see. Hurt a little bit more than I thought. I do apologise.
Definitely was contact there, all right.
Not hurt as much as the agent from his dad, though.
Row over money, apparently. This is Afek. It's left a little bit short, and Petric is in there. Is that going to be a penalty kick? The referee was a long, long way away from that. Awat. And the referee, what's he going to give here? Is he saying he's yellow carding the goalkeeper? This has got to be a penalty. This has got to be a penalty. He's given it.
Definite penalty. I don't think he sent him off because the ball's going away from goal. So that's the correct decision with the yellow card, but definite penalty. Terrible back pass, well short. Awat caught unawares, and then it's a penalty. There's no doubt about that. You can see. Just shapes up the pass it back, and it's Yusuf who drops him short. And you can see, I think it's Petric who gets in there. There's no doubt about that one. And just as I was saying about their concentration levels and keeping it, they give it away. Definite penalty, good decision, and a good decision not for a red card as well, because he's going away from goal.
Cerna's going to take it, and it's into the back of the net. They are level. It's another self-induced error, really. Israel, with that poor back pass, playing their goalkeeper into trouble. Penalty, and Cerna, who's actually got a penalty before against his opposition in a friendly, does it again here.
Good penalty as well. He goes high. Oh, that goes the right way. Goes high, straight down the middle. Obviously trying to anticipate where he's going. Straight down the middle of the goal, and it's the equaliser. That is a blow for Israel. Lack of concentration costs them dearly, and it's 1-1.
And you have to say the goal did look as if it was coming.
Well, it was. They were getting deeper and deeper. In the end, it didn't come as we thought. It just was that lack of concentration I was saying. I don't think that they're good enough to just sit back like that and absorb pressure, and then mistakes eventually come.
It's been Yusuf who made that error. Just switching off for a moment, and will really be kicking themselves about that, will Israel, having been in the box seat. But they did go a little bit negative, possibly a little too early. 1-1.
Maybe in, they'll come out and play again. Got frightened of winning, didn't they? See the finishing line. It was the 8th minute. But there we go. That's plenty hard enough back with that back pass. That's what it needed before.
Hoists it downfield. And the Croatians looking poised, and they never panicked when they got behind. They just played their football and probed and pressed, and then something happened. Now Alberman looking to make inroads as Israel get a bit more positive again. Zandberg. Across towards that back post where Luka missed it, and it was picked up by Ben Ayoun. Casey gets the cross in, but it's too long.
Better though, but Sandberg again having to come back on his left foot on this right-hand side. He's in some great positions, but then goes back 10 yards to get his crossing.
Afek. Decent block by Josip Siminic. He plays for Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga. Well, back to the drawing board, I guess. Now then, Alberman, who looks a danger man, I must admit. Badia to Idan Tal. And then Sandberg, that was a difficult bounce for the goalkeeper. He fielded it well.
It was, but maybe half a yard more. If it pitches up half a yard more, he makes it much more difficult for Runya. Just pitches up nicely, and you can see the surface is, well, trusting. He gets his body and hands well behind the ball.
Goalkeeper Runya, by the way, making his debut, played recently for Besiktas against Tottenham in the UEFA Cup, where Spurs put on a good performance away from home, something they'll be looking to do a bit more in the Premiership. Cranchar, that's nicely done. Eduardo, he's got him behind here. Chance, Eduardo, 2-1 Croatia. Brilliant football that by the Croatians. Clinical. And the man who scored against England has scored here against Israel. And this game has been turned around in a matter of moments.
Well, it's a great finish by Eduardo. Well, what happens to the fullback, Afek? Look, ball watching, he just gets in behind him. The rest are playing him onside on the far side. Has the composure to just pass it past the keeper. It's a great finish, but where is the fullback, Afek? Look, halfway in his own half, caught the wrong side, totally daydreaming, and that lack of concentration that I was talking about. And the more passes they have, Croatia, the more lapses of concentration Israel will have, and Afek does there. Lapse of concentration and a good finish at the end from Eduardo.
Eduardo, who was not picked in the World Cup squad, and that's looking like a pretty bad decision in retrospect now. He scored against Italy, he scored against England, he scored tonight. That's his 10th international goal in what's only his 24th cap. He's also the top scorer in the Croatian league at the moment.
There's a reward for some patient football though, Ian, isn't it? And I think sometimes this is the criticism with maybe England. We go in, up to our strikers a little bit too early. Don't pass it around in the middle of the park like Croatia have been doing. And they wait for defenders to jump and come out the line and lose concentration. And the more passes you have, well, it's better. It's patient, it's probing, and at the end there's a finish from Eduardo as well. But that was poor defending, wasn't it?
Great finish there, wasn't it?
Super finish, just passed it home.
No messing about at all. Cranchar, who set up the goal. Oh, that's a nice ball too for Cerna. They're going to make it 3. Petric was nearly on the end of that. And Croatia, well, at the moment, they're playing some pretty good stuff.
Well, short passing football and then a great diagonal pass. Cerna took it in his stride, and again, poor defending on the far side this time from Youssef. And I think the pass into the centre should have been better from Cerna, and that would have been the 3rd goal. Petric would have just run that one in.
Badia. Done by Benayoun, and Kalauti is offside. Nice move. Now was a goalkeeper just caught by a trailing boot there, Runya.
It was a close one. You see just offside though, Kalauti. Just stuck the foot out. It's a little bit dramatic again from Runya. Looked that hard, did it? And again, we've seen a couple of head injuries for keepers lately, so hold court on this one. You can see he just tries to go in there, and he catches him. Looks like he catches him with the knee again, doesn't he? Maybe the foot misses the ball, and then his knee catches his head again.
It didn't really look like that horrific collision between Stephen Hunt of Reading and Petr Cech. Not nowhere near, of course, as forceful. Thank goodness. It looks like there's going to be a card here, presumably for Kalauti, for leaving his foot in, according to the ref. Anyway, he's making a note of a name. He has indeed got a yellow card.
was a decent chance to get in behind though. Croatia caught a little bit square. Simic and Kovac, he just held his run a fraction, and may have got in there. That's what they need to do. Just put them back a little bit and then just get that ball threaded down the sides of those central defenders.
This is bouncing a long way, then Ben Yusuf wasn't quite sure where the ball was there, and once again Cerna was looking to break into height. He's the man who's replaced Rapajic tonight. Remember Rapajic playing against England and being involved in one or two feisty confrontations. Cerna has looked very, very good, having returned from a ruptured muscle tonight. Scoring the penalty, of course. Badia. Good ball inside from Sandberg to Ben Ayoun. Casey on the far side playing it in. Croatia looking to put Petric in. Well, they've got a very, very high opinion of Niko Croatia down at Portsmouth. Maybe still just adapting to life in the Premiership, but you'd feel sure to be a major playmaking type down at Fratton Park once he gets in the side more regularly.
Certainly fits into this pattern well with that midfield three. Croatia, we just mentioned Modric and Kovac, three good players, good on the ball, and really run the midfield in this first half.
The crowd have been quietened down, so noisy early on when Israel were ahead, but those two goals in a matter of minutes change the mood. Up to Israel to do something about it. Sandberg looking to work something with Ben Ayoun, who tried to get his shot away. It's a panicky looking clearance. Throw goes Israel's way. That's way over the bar from Badia. In the end, Israel, by the way, have only ever made the finals of one competition, one big competition. That was the World Cup in Mexico in 1970.
See Badia, who's been the anchor man in midfield, sets himself well with his first touch, but not the best of efforts. Miles too high.
Petric got an important little flick on, and again Cerna can pick it up on his right hand side. He seems to have a lot of room to run all the time, and I think that's been a major problem on both flanks, particularly that right flank for the Israelis.
Yeah, Affec was caught, wasn't he, for that goal, second goal, and also on that far side, Casey, he's been caught time and time again by Cerna, who's just holding the width. They're holding the width on both sides, aren't they, Cerna and Eduardo? And the fullbacks can't get their distances right. They really can't. They are struggling.
Well, he's caused a fair bit of chaos, as Dario Cerna. Good score in the World Cup as well against Australia. And the Croatian Player of the Year back in 2003. Niko Kovac, bringing it back to Simic. Cerna nearly got in behind again. They're just working little angles and keeping possession pretty neatly, the Croatians. Confidence buoyed by beating England. That's half-time, and Croatia sitting pretty after a very poor start, giving away a goal scored by Kolouti, but Cerna's penalty, and then Eduardo with another goal to follow the one he got against England. And at half-time here, it's Israel 1, Croatia 2.
After a difficult start, Croatia have powered in front here. Trevor Francis, the former England striker, is watching that with us. We'll get his thoughts on what we've seen so far when we come back with the Croatians' lead, 2-1.
Live only on Sky Sports in association with Wolf Blass next Wednesday night at 11.
Oh, here he is, tough boy, the big man. Vic, alas, someone who isn't the missing link.
It's 1984, darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pop.
Out now, rated 18.
Hey, world, here I am. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to
Fall in love with driving again. Astra from Vauxhall.
When is a good deal not a good deal on car insurance?
When there's nothing to gain from being a loyal customer.
At Direct Line, we offer extra discounts when you insure more than one car. And we let named drivers earn their own no-claims discount.
That's better.
Go online for a 10% discount. Direct Line, a good deal better.
Vamos! ¡Para!
Put the theme in a sounding board, for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eye of fools, how they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in a dim soul. Oh man, look at those Cavalangos, it's a freaky show.
The 3 Music Store. Open now on your 3 mobile.
That must be a total pain.
Yeah, and the rate is increasing.
Why don't you get rid of it?
Don't think I haven't thought about it.
Just cut it up into little pieces and problem gone. Then get a Capital One card instead.
Is paying too much interest a real headache? Switch to Capital One and get 0% on balance transfers until the 1st of January 2008 and 0% on purchases for the first 3 months. Call Capital One now on 0800 952 5060 or visit capitalone.co.uk.
Your order, sir?
Grilled woodpecker.
Whoa, what's in your wallet?
This Friday, there's a colossal Euro Millions jackpot. And £120 million must be won.
Seriously, shuffle for you.
With some things, you've got no chance. But at McDonald's, you've got every chance. Brilliant Sony gear and food prizes can be won on every What's in the Box scratch card. Just scratch and match to win.
Fly down to your local Vauxhall retailer, where the Astra SXI is available with no deposit, 0% finance and free insurance.
Oh, they're in here all the time. They're a nice lot, the HSA people. They give you money back on your eye care and your dental bills. To find out more, just give them a call on 0800 08 54321. My family get £280 to cover opticians' bills each year. And another £280 for dentist bills. We get all that and much more for just £4 a week. And we got £15 worth of Marks & Spencer's vouchers when we joined. So, find out more now by calling HSA on 0800 08 54321. HSA, a healthier place to be.
You are not going to believe what's just happened.
No, 2 pens in the first 5 minutes.
Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
Don't forget, coming later, the second live European Championship qualifier of the night, the Republic of Ireland against the worst team in Europe, according to the rankings. 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. We are hoping for goals. We've got 3 already in this game. Trevor, it took the Croatians a little while to get going, didn't it? On largely the back of some almost Parks defending, they get themselves in front, Israel. And I mean, what is the message here from the performance in the last half hour from Croatia?
Well, I think it's fair to say that both teams have defended really poorly, Richard, and Israel had the perfect start. But you've got to give, you know, credit to Croatia and the way that they've come back. They've shown a lot of character. But when I think back to the game that England played in Croatia, you know, we never really tested them, did we? And you know, they've shown tonight that if you get at them, both teams are very suspect defensively.
And what is it that Josip Simonic, who's the man right at the heart of this defensive error, has that no other player in the world has received? On a football pitch, 3 yellow cards. He's the man Graham Poll booked, isn't he?
Absolutely, and his woes continue here, because why he thinks about, you know, passing the ball back to the goalkeeper from that position, only he will know. That ball should have been kicked either for a throw-in or for a corner.
The keeper can't pick it up, can he?
He can't. The keeper, to be fair, is a little bit too far off his line, but there's still no excuse for an experienced defender like Simonic to try and play it back to the keeper in that position. I mean, they got themselves off the hook because it was a miscontrol from the Israeli player, and there were 3 Croatian players there to deal with it, and to try and pass it back to the goalkeeper in the opening 5 minutes of a game away from home like that is absolutely criminal.
Having said all of that, the equaliser also owed a lot to, well, how would you describe the defending on this occasion?
Equally as bad, because the moment that ball left his foot, it was never going to reach the goalkeeper. Petric does well here because he gets onto it well, and the moment that he goes over, he gives the referee absolutely no option but to give a penalty. I think it was the right decision. He could so easily have given a red card. So Israel...
You mean the booking was the right decision? There was no doubt about the penalty, was there?
Absolutely not. I mean, he could have given a red card, but I think probably it was the right decision to give a yellow card. So Israel got away with just conceding a penalty. And as we see on many occasions, you know, the goalkeeper tries to second-guess the penalty taker, and he puts it right down the centre.
3 minutes, 24 seconds later, Croatia are in front. And this time the defending?
Well, Ben Ahin gets turned so easily there. He should be tighter on the player, but the full-back's got to take responsibility, Athic. To allow Eduardo to get goal side like he did is really poor positioning. I like the way Eduardo finishes. He was born in Rio in Brazil, and there's a little touch of Brazilian about the way he calmly strokes this pass a Watt in the goal.
So many times in those situations you see the ball played through the keeper's legs, don't you? And it has the outcome that Croatia required then. They lead by 2-1 at half-time. Don't forget, later we'll be watching the Republic of Ireland, and at 10 o'clock tonight we've got highlights from England's friendly in Holland.
In a hostage crisis,
Nobody's coming after you.
Don't lie to me! The one thing you don't do
You think you're the first guy who ever messed up?
is get personal.
I'm sleeping with my partner.
Standoff starts tomorrow at 10 on Sky One and Sky One HD.
Time to go.
Captain Jack is back in the biggest movie event of the year.
What about Jack? I can't leave without him. Never mind, let's go.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest on Disney DVD, 20th November.
I didn't start out a 10-time world champion. I am the game, Triple H.
I started at the bottom and worked my way up.
It's time to unleash the animal. So don't just watch it, live it.
WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, out now.
Vamos.
This Friday, there's a colossal Euro Millions jackpot. And £120 million must be won.
Women, don't expect any help on a Tuesday. Nuts about women, motors, sport, read Nuts. This week, free extra mag.
How little does it cost to join the UK's #1 breakdown service? A service with more dedicated patrols than anyone else, who fix more breakdowns than anyone else, and who 95% of its members would recommend. Join the AA now from just £39. Call 0800 444 999.
Join now and receive a £10 M&S voucher. Call 0800 444 999.
It's a phenomenon known as déjà vu. It's a phenomenon known as déjà vu.